Hi, you're listening to This Is Not Your Practice Life. I'm your host, Macy Renee, and we are going on a journey together, my friends. I'm a certified life and emotional intelligence coach. And if you really want to step into your highest self, there are a few non-negotiables you're going to have to learn, and I am just the person to help you do it. No matter your past, I'm here to help you create a more fulfilling future. So stick around with me. Not only will I teach you how to navigate your brain's daily mind drama, but I'll help you actually understand your mind, your emotions, why you do the things you do, and why others do the things they do. Most importantly, I'll help you build the self-awareness skills to create whatever results you want. It's never too late to change the trajectory of your life. After all, this is not your practice life. Good morning, friends. Welcome back to another episode of This Is Not Your Practice Life podcast. My name is Macy, and I am so excited you're listening to the show today. Welcome to the podcast if you are brand new, and welcome back if you listen often. Thank you for coming back. Okay, so I've been a little MIA. Life has been so incredibly hectic and busy, and the podcast of all the things that I'm doing has just taken a back seat whenever life gets super, super jam-packed, especially business. So the last few weeks, I have felt like go, 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 go. I created a brand new 5-week program called Elevated EQ to help women get super, super clear on their self-concept. I recorded an episode talking about the importance of self-concept, and that program started last week. It has been incredible. It sold out, so I have 20 women in there, and I cannot tell you how much I have enjoyed this program just one weekend. And I think the reason why is because this program was inspired by my advanced level program, the hybrid experience, and seeing what my clients needed more of in that program and what they were kind of missing as far as helping their skills land even better. And it was all self-concept work. And in this first week that we have been coaching together for all of the women in this, self-concept program, it's just been so refreshing and fun and inspirational to get to know each of them on an individual level. So I'm teaching concepts that all of them are going to benefit from, but I'm working also with them one-on-one, much like in the hybrid experience program, to get to know what their ideal self-concept is and their vision and their dreams and what they want. And that individualized touch has just been so fun to see, because I just feel like I'm getting it's opened a window into each client in there, and I get to see their heart and what's important to them, whether it's something very simple or something very grand or a blend of both. And it has just been so much fun. So if you're in there and you're a podcast listener, just know I am deeply enjoying it so far, and I hope that you are as well, even though we have 4 weeks to go. Another thing that has happened is I completed round 3 of the hybrid experience, my advanced level emotional intelligence program that is 6 months long. And we just wrapped up our retreat, which was in Cabo, Mexico. And that was such an incredible, magical experience. As a business owner, I learned a lot. And so that was a little bit challenging at times, but overall, oh my goodness, it was just an incredible experience. I surprised the women. I had told them to bring nausea meds because we were going to go on a little tour boat to chase some whales. And a lot of them didn't know if I was actually serious. And I was like, yeah, I'm totally serious. So throughout the retreat, they would say, I think we're going to go see whales, but I'm not sure. And I would overhear some of them, and I'd be like, no, we are. We're going to take a little tour boat out to see whales. And what they didn't know is that 5 of the women this January and 1 in February had and have birthdays coming up. And I am someone that loves celebrating other people. I love spoiling people in general. Like, that is totally my MO. Gifts are great, and I do like being a receiver of gifts, but I'm definitely more of the giver personality. I just love spoiling people in my life, my clients included. And in particular, in the hybrid experience, I mean, these women are doing some of the hardest work they will ever do in their life. They are signing up for their brain to be challenged and stretched and just, they're signing themselves up for 6 months of just pure chaos in the sense that they're going to grow and at an accelerated rate, but it can be challenging, right? It's fun, and I try to make it fun, but it's challenging. So at the end of the hybrid experience, after 6 months of one-on-one and group coaching for 24 straight weeks, we go into a retreat. And like I said, it was in Mexico. So I really wanted to celebrate the 5 women, that had birthdays, and also wanted to bring the rest of the girls along. There was a total of 12 of us. And so the secret that I had been keeping is that I booked actually not a tour boat, I booked a yacht experience. It was my first yacht experience, which is something that's been on my dream board. And a lot of the girls know now that I'm okay if I don't have a yacht, own a yacht. I think what I've learned about myself is when it comes to the ocean, I'm a big chicken. So I will push myself to be, out of my comfort zone a little bit. And I loved the yacht experience. But when you start hitting waves that have the boat going up and down and up and down, I rescued some ceviche because that was really important to me. Like, it was an experience, let me tell you. But it was so much fun watching the women love and enjoy their time together. And just from start to finish, we saw beautiful sunrises, sunsets. They walked the beach. They saw whales every morning. The yacht experience, we saw whales up close. We had the most amazing location. We played like little kids on the water slides within our private villa. We had the most amazing butler taking care of us the whole time, giving us just an obscene amount of margaritas, but never actually getting like plastered or drunk. Everything was made from scratch. The syrups, he would squeeze probably pounds and pounds of limes to make these margaritas for us. And it was just the most incredible food, the most incredible chefs, the most incredible, even housekeeping that came every morning, just so kind and loving. They took care of us. The girls branched off and did things on their own, alone, whenever they needed the space, or they did things together. They got to know each other. Hybrid is really such an incredible experience, and it's extremely hard to describe unless you put yourself in that room. But once you put yourself in that room, there is just this connection, and it's speechlessness, but the best way to describe it is life-giving. I think that's probably what I've said with every round, but I can't find the words. I just know that you have to experience it, and once you do, you get it. And until you do, you think you might know, but you don't know. And even the girls said that. When I signed up, I knew this is probably what I needed, but I didn't realize just how much I needed it until I did it. And so it was yet another amazing round. And with that being said, the next round is starting in April 8th of 2025 to be exact. And our retreat will be in Colorado in September. Okay. So if this is something you've been thinking about, if you have had previous or prior coaching, if you're in current coaching programs of mine, if you feel ready for advanced level, you can send in an application on MacyRenee.com under the hybrid experience, and I will review it within 48 hours, and you will get an email letting you know if you've been approved or not. So something else with this program is that, I've learned a lot in running 3 rounds. I created this program in 2022, and I have to say, just as I am encouraging the women to step up into new versions of themselves, this program has also required new leadership versions of myself. And the more rounds that I do, the more particular I get, because I'm realizing just how, what advanced means and who's ready and maybe who's not quite ready. And it's just created an even stronger leader in me. Not always comfortable, but a stronger leader in me. But as a result, the women that go through this get the ultimate transformation. So if you think that you might be ready for next round or interested, you can apply. And I would love to at least consider your application for you to be in our next round. So let's talk about invitations. Speaking of leadership roles and growing into your next level. So lately, a big topic of conversation has been around the invitations that we receive. So I like to think of invitations. Other words that I use for this are challenges, even triggers, things that feel really hard in your life. It's really easy to look at these triggers or challenges or hardships as something that's negative. But I like to kind of spin it with my clients and say, what if these are invitations to your next level? So anytime you are up against something that just doesn't feel fair, or it feels hard, or it feels easy to maybe whine about something or complain about something, what are you being invited to grow within yourself? So I like to take our life hardships and use them for good. And this is a huge emotional intelligence skill, to be able to ground yourself and regulate your nervous system enough to not stay in this cycle of maybe feeling sorry for yourself, giving up, throwing up your hands and quitting, giving up, blaming, being in a victim mentality. All of that oftentimes highlights where we're not ready to grow and we're not accepting our invitations to the next level. And certainly we can choose to throw up our hands and not step into the next version of ourselves. But oftentimes what it leads to are these icky, yucky cycles that don't feel good in our life. And oftentimes we will repeat patterns and end up stuck, wondering why life continues to throw us curveballs or feel challenging. And so the next time that you feel like you are in this position, what I want to encourage you to remember is to ask yourself, what is this inviting me to? What is the next level of my growth I'm being invited to? What is this inviting me to as far as how I navigate challenges, how I regulate my nervous system, how I better my mind, how I regulate my emotions or grow my emotional intelligence, how I change my course of action, and it's one of those things where you can really, truly use it for good if you allow it. You can sulk and let your ego take over and just keep you in the same place, or you can accept invitations that are going to get you to your next level. And they're never going to be easy, right? Sometimes it's going to look like having really hard conversations. Sometimes it's going to be radical honesty with yourself, or even super vulnerability, right? Like the kind that makes you want to gag, asking in the most vulnerable way for people to help you out. Allowing yourself to share things that maybe feel super scary, but are going to be for your best benefit. There's just so many ways that this can show up. And so I really encourage you to take a step back the next time that you feel uncomfortable or challenged, and look at it as an invitation that you can use it to get to your next level if you are willing. And this applies to every area of your life. You can use this, invitation whenever you're in a challenging relationship. Maybe it's a romantic relationship. Maybe it's a friendship. Maybe it's a work relationship. What are you being invited to? Maybe it's money, right? What are you being invited to when you're struggling with money or you're in money challenges? What are you being invited to? Are you being invited to, actually look at your bank accounts, where maybe you want to avoid it? Are you being invited to get organized and look at your bills, or, pull it together because maybe you've had a bad money mentality? Like, that's just one example of many. It also can be in leadership or entrepreneurship roles. What are you being invited to when something's not going as planned, or when you fail at a goal that you made for yourself, or when there's challenges within, your company or employees or even clients? Like, how are you stepping into the ultimate leadership position to lead your ship, right? Guide your ship. So We can apply this in so many areas. Same thing with motherhood or parenting. When are you being challenged by what your kids have going on or what they're bringing to the table? And how can you be invited to be the parent, or the mother that you really want to be? So rather than resist what is going to help you grow, what if you just leaned in to every single thing that is going to help you grow? I really want you to think about that. What if you didn't run away from the very things that are meant to help you grow? And here's the thing, if you can't figure it out on your own, what are you being invited to oftentimes? If you've been struggling and you've been in a cycle for a really long time, you're probably being invited to ask for help, something that a lot of people struggle to do, something that I still struggle to do at times, and I have to swallow my pride, right? And ask for help and feel the uncomfortable emotions. So if you can't figure out how to accept these invitations and use them to your benefit on your own, then maybe the very invitation there is, can I allow myself to be helped? Can I ask for help? Can I invest in myself to get the help? Am I willing to do that? Or do I want to stay in this cycle? Or maybe I can figure it out on my own, but how long is that going to take? Is my time better well spent having almost like a fast track to my growth? So these are all things to consider and things to be aware of when you're being invited to something because you're seeing challenges or feeling challenges within your life, okay? I really want you to think about that. And if I can be of any help in your journey and helping you navigate those invitations, aka what feels often really, really hard to see the good in, then you know where to find me. You can find me on MacyRenee.com and learn more about what I do and how I help. You can schedule a consult there. You can also connect with me on social media. I'm Macy Renee Coaching on Instagram, on Facebook, and on TikTok, although I'm not a big TikToker. But I would love to help you if it feels like a good fit. All right. So I hope you all have a wonderful week. I am working on getting some guests lined up. You all have given me so much feedback that you really like the guest interviews, and I enjoy doing those as well. I love learning from new people. It's just been a little bit challenging because some people have podcast fright, right? Coming on a podcast when it's out of their comfort zone and just getting themselves to say yes. So there's some of that. And then there's also just lining up busy schedules. A lot of people are very, very busy and have a lot going on. And so they will certainly get to the place where they're able to come on here. But I am working on it. So just know that I am working on getting some really good interviews to help you all grow even more. And I really look forward to sharing those. So as always, last thing, if you have a podcast topic you would like me to talk about that you don't see on the podcast, you are always welcome to reach out to me on social media and say, Macy, can you please cover this? Or I'm struggling with XYZ. Can you please give me the coaching perspective on how you would work through this? I'm always down for doing that. And in fact, being almost 250 episodes in, it really actually helps me whenever you all have topics you want me to cover, because my brain this far into doing my podcast sometimes goes, I have nothing. And I know that that's a lie. There's a million things that I could talk about, but any kind of prompts from you guys can be super helpful. So I will look for those in my inbox anytime you want to offer them. All right. Other than that, please leave reviews on the podcast, continue to share with friends, talk about it on your social media. It helps the podcast stay relevant, and that way other people can find it. I appreciate when you do that, and I appreciate you inviting friends to come listen. So keep sharing. I love you. I will see you again next week. Bye, guys. Hey there. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode of This Is Not Your Practice Life podcast. If you'd like to connect on social media, you can find me on both Instagram and Facebook at Macy Renee Coaching. And if you want to stay up to date on all of my offers, announcements, and inspirational emails, you can join my email list at macyrenee.com. In addition, if there's a way that I can further support you in your coaching journey, you can schedule a free 60-minute consult at macyrenee.com anytime you want so we can discuss the best options for you. I look forward to seeing you next week, and I hope you have an amazing day.